Newcastle United are chasing their first major trophy in 50 years. That's if you count the European Fairs Cup. And let's be honest, not many people do. So if you don't, it's 70 years. 70 years too long as they travel to Wembley to take on Liverpool, the holders of the Carabao Cup, in the final. I don't know about you guys, but I'm incredibly optimistic about this. So in this video, we're going to be looking at screenshots, graphics on how Newcastle United can beat Liverpool, but also what to expect from Liverpool, and also how PSG set a blueprint on how to beat Liverpool. And the reason I'm optimistic, it's probably out of hope rather than expectation, but I do feel our time is now. It's been far too long since Newcastle United won a trophy. So let's believe, and if you don't believe in football, then I'm sorry. Football's not for you. I often say football's like a drug, brings out every emotion, keeps you coming back, and it gets you dreaming. And boy, are we dreaming right now. Anything can happen in a final. And yes, we all know Anthony Gordon, Sven Botman, Lewis Hall are injured, but Liverpool have their injuries as well. Trent came off with an injury against PSG, who won't be playing. Gomez is not absent. Connor Bradley won't be playing, so it looks like Jamal Kwanzaa will be playing at right back. So there's an area Newcastle United can target already. And we all know Liverpool just been eliminated out the Champions League by PSG. It was an intense game, went to extra time. Konate came off with an injury. I do think he'll be fit to face Newcastle, but how fit will he be? So this is a time when Newcastle United can really step up the game and put it on Liverpool, because their confidence wouldn't be as high as what it would be if they went through against PSG. So you can look at this as two ways. They might be feeling a bit vulnerable, or they could be standing up thinking, we're not going to let that happen again. But I do think this game's fascinating, because I think both teams are going to set up something similar. Newcastle, obviously, in a 4-3-3. Liverpool set up in kind of a 4-3-3, but it's more like a 4-3-2-1. And before we move on, I just want to say Newcastle United are already taking over London. So if you're going down to London, enjoy it, embrace it. Don't get too drunk so you don't miss the final, but boy, have a great time. So what do I expect from Liverpool? Liverpool's Arne Slot, emphasis tactical discipline, possession-based play, and taking calculated risks. His philosophy based on overloads in central areas while attacking and defending. When he's attacking, there's two key principles that Arne Slot looks for. Overloads in central areas. He really wants to make that compact and dominate the central areas, but he wants his wingers to be isolated and be left alone. The reason behind that is because he believes they've got the quality to get past the fullback, and then he wants his central midfielders to attack the box with depth, box crashing, picking up loose balls, picking up second balls. But the other reason he does that is if there is a turnover, he's got cover, so they're not affected defensively in transitions. And we all know the quality of this Liverpool side. You've got Mo Salah, who's just ripped up the Premier League and so efficient in front of goal. You've got Diego Jota, who's probably the best natural finisher in their squad. You've got Dominic Szoboszlai, who's got that intelligent movement. You've got Alex McAllister, who just zips the ball around so intelligently. You've got Curtis Jones, who's a box crasher. And then you've got Ryan Gravenberch, who's playing as a deep line playmaker. So they've got quality all over the pitch. And when they're defending, it's all about high pressing, high intensity, look to win the ball back early. They're defending a 4-2-4 shape because Arne Slot wants to regain possession. Of course he does. But he wants to force a high turnover. So they'll press you aggressively. They'll press you intensely. And the reason he does this is because he wants to restrict the amount of time the opposition have on the ball and forcing high turnover. Because when you force a high turnover, you've got a greater chance of creating an opportunity. So you'll look to try and force the opposition into a negative touch and a negative pass. Once that trigger is set, that's when they press aggressively and try and win the ball back. So because of all this, I do think Eddie Howe will set Newcastle United up like they did in the 3-3 draw at St James's. Newcastle will pretty much go to a man-to-man press because that's what Eddie Howe likes to do. He wants his players and trusts these players to win their individual battles. And I think that'll be key in this game, winning your individual battles. First thing I'll be saying to my players is concentrate on your individual battles. You win your battle, will overload and overturn this game and win this game dominantly. Need to play the Newcastle way with intensity, play without fear. Don't show Liverpool any respect. I think when we went to Anfield just recently, we showed Liverpool too much respect. We're giving too much space. Let's not give them that space. Let's go man to man. Let's press them hard, play with intensity, and really lift up the energy. The Wembley pitch is big, so it's going to be very tough to do that. But this is Newcastle United. We're renowned for our intensity. But I do think the midfield battle will be key. I think whoever can dominate the midfield area will win this game. Overloads, triangles will cause Liverpool problems. We're going to be touching on this very shortly, but I do think our most important player, and it goes without saying, is Alexander Isak. Often say his best attributes, his movements. He's got the ability to drift out wide. He's got the ability to go on the blind side of defenders, drop deep, and facilitate that double movement. Where he's got that ability to drop deep and then spin in behind into the space he's just created. PSG's fluidity and interchanging movement in their final third caused Liverpool problems. We need to do the same. There's two things that kill in football: pace and movement, and Newcastle United have that in abundance. So let's take a look at exactly how we can trouble Liverpool and really get at this backline. Now, firstly, I want to take some screenshots that I took from the PSG game, and I want you to concentrate on Dembele. He started out as a natural centre forward, and as you can see here, he's peeling off to the right. Now, as you can see here, he's on the left. Again, if I move it further, he's centrally. So that interchanging and ability just to roam around that final third caused Liverpool so many problems, because look at the space he receives the ball here. That's because Van Dijk and Konate didn't know whether to track him, go with him, mark the space. They just caused so many problems, and it pretty much confused their backline. Now, what Van Dijk and Konate are normally very good at is one engaging and one covering. One engages, the other covering. Look at how flat they are there. They're flat because they couldn't cope with Dembele's movement. And if we go back to these pictures, when Dembele comes out on the right, Kvaratskhelia comes in midfield. He acts as a centre forward. And this is what Newcastle were doing to Liverpool at St James's Park. And I've got some screenshots to prove this. But even if we go back to the one where Dembele went out on the right, Bradley Barcola comes centrally. So the interchanging and the understanding of each other's roles absolutely caused Liverpool so many problems. And if we go back to this image where Dembele picks a ball in the centre midfield, this is where their goal came from, because Van Dijk didn't want to go in with Dembele because he would have left space in behind. But the trouble is, if you don't go with him, then he's got the ability to turn on the ball and drive at you. So he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. And this is why I always say movement kills in football, because it offsets the opposition structure, but also causes confusion mentally. Now, we're really going to look at exactly how Newcastle United scored 3 goals against Liverpool at St James's Park. And this is the first image I want you to look at. Look at Alexander Isak's positioning. He's doing a Dembele, peeling out wide, causing confusion. Then you've got Anthony Gordon coming inside, picking up those central roles. So the interchanging between the two. I know Anthony Gordon's injured and he's not playing, but this is something that Harvey Barnes is going to have to be switched on to. One of my favourite things about Alexander Isak is his movement, his ability to create space for himself. He often does a double movement where he comes in short to look like he's going to receive the ball and then spinning behind in the space he's just created. But he can also do it the other way around, where he pushes Van Dijk back. So Van Dijk naturally drops off and then he comes into feet to receive the ball. And you can see that in this sequence. Van Dijk cannot react quick enough, so it allows Isak to receive the ball in a yard of space. And this is where he got the strike off. And this ultimately where he pinged it in the top corner, because he's got that quality, he's got that execution where he can deliver a ball in the back of the net. But I want to highlight another thing about Newcastle United. What was great about Newcastle United in this game is we're committing bodies forward. Look at Sandro Tonali looking to get in the box. Alexander Isak could have slipped him in, but he's got the quality where he can finish from that angle. But again, using this image, Newcastle are pretty much attacking with a 4-2-4 shape. We're creating overloads in the final third, and it really caused Liverpool a lot of problems. Now, I'm not saying we'll commit bodies forward at every opportunity, because this happens where Salah gets in behind. Look at that. He's free. He's getting in behind. So that's the danger of Liverpool. They can miss out the middleman. They don't always play out from the back. They can go direct if they want to. And that's exactly what they did against PSG and what they did at St James's Park, because they were getting no success in the middle of the pitch. So they started to go direct. So we need to be switched on about this. And with Lewis Hall being injured, Tino Livramento cannot be caught out of position. But I want to highlight Sandro Tonali here, because I mentioned earlier that Newcastle go to a man-to-man press. So look at Dan Burn. He's followed Darwin Núñez into this area. So ultimately, he's out of position. Now, what Sandro Tonali does here, it's elite awareness in football. He drops into the back 4. So once Dan Burn gets back in the shape, we're defending in a back 5. That is sensational stuff that goes unnoticed by Sandro Tonali. It means he's covering for his teammates when they're caught out of position. And I think this is what we're going to have to do with Salah. Either there's going to be 2 options, and it'll probably rotate throughout the game, where either Joe Linton drops into left back to double up with Tino Livramento against Salah. But if Joe Linton can't get back and facilitate, it's going to have to be Dan Burn coming across. If Dan Burn comes across, it's going to have to be Joe Linton going into that back 4 or Sandro Tonali going into that back four. So we're not leaving any space. And that's what we did brilliantly at St. James's Park. I know we conceded 3 goals, but the blueprint and the ideas were absolutely spot on. So we can just correct them and refine them a little bit. This can really prevent Liverpool from scoring. But I really do believe high intensity, good movement is what kills Liverpool. PSG set that blueprint. And I'd also believe that when everything's in front of Liverpool, when everything's one-dimensional, it's too easy for them. They've got too much quality, intelligence, and athleticism to battle with. We need to move the ball sharply, because if we dwell on the ball, these Liverpool hunting packs, so they will find out, they will win possession off you, they will force high turnovers. So we need to cut that out, make sure that doesn't happen. And the reason why I say movement is pivotal in this game, because the Wembley pitch is absolutely massive. Let's use that to our advantage. But also, when you're one-dimensional against Liverpool, it's far too easy with them. We've seen that at Anfield. We were passive, lackluster. Everything was just in front of them, and it was too easy. When we get them facing their own goal, that's when you cause them problems. So how do I think Newcastle will line up? I actually think he will line up with a similar formation personnel like he did against West Ham. I think Nick Pope will start and go because he's our best shot stopper, and I think Eddie Howe believes that. Trippier at right back, Fabian Shaw, Dan Burn, Tino Livramento at left back, Sandro Tonali, Joelin and Bruno in the midfield, and I think those 3 are going to win us this game. Murphy on the right, Harvey Barnes on the left, and Alexander Isak as a striker. I think Harvey Barnes has got an important role to play, because if Kwanzaa does play at right back, he can really fancy himself against Kwanzaa. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Oh, I'm excited. But I do honestly believe it's all about our movement, our intensity off the ball, but our movement and intelligence with the ball is how you beat Liverpool, because this Liverpool side are so efficient. They're so good. It's unbelievable. They've been the best team in the Premier League. Look, just give with this title. You're about to win the Premier League trophy. Just let us have this, please. But guys, I want to hear your thoughts. Look, I'm going to say it. I'm going to go Liverpool 1, Newcastle United 2. But I want to hear your thoughts. Drop us a comment in the below what you made of this video, what you make of the cup final. Are you excited? I'm so excited. But let us know in the comments below. And yeah, I just want to say good luck to everybody. Stay safe down there, and away the lads.